half back for the West. Big pack around the ball. Cloak and Moss doing the ruck work. Riders with a chance. Now it's Moss. Glendinning. Long kick towards half forward. Gregg's got the size on Cracker. Up he goes. Couldn't take the mark. Read brilliantly off hands by Flower. Across towards Peter Moore. Back towards Gregg. He's out towards left centre wing now. Gathers in the ball. Tries to cut back infield. Coming to meet him there was Cracker. Forced to kick with his left foot is Gregg, but he finds Wilson further afield. Wilson has touched the ball more than any other Victorian. Breaks around Peak. Kicks it towards the forward pocket. Hunter going back with the flight of the ball. Coming up was Templeton. And Hunter's getting a free kick. Pushed in the back. So Kenny Hunter, right back pocket position for Western Australia. Not much on the outer side. Victoria have the numbers out towards centre wing. He goes looking for Peak. Flower behind him, and Peak is getting the free kick. And this is a pretty absorbing duel out there. So I venture to say Flower's on top. Brian Peak from right half back. Kicks across centre wing. Jess is down there with side bottom. From the hands of side bottom, it runs to Cracker. Cracker in all sorts of trouble close to the boundary line, but brilliance gets him out of it. This is Rioli. That was magnificent stuff from Cracker. Rioli down towards full forward. Bazasto's in front. Or was it Fitzpatrick? Fitzpatrick. It was knocked away by the Victorian defence. Swooping on it is Dunn. He breaks away from the defensive area. Touches it down once. Comes towards half back. Boots it out towards centre wing. Moss is there. So is Glendinning. Comes through with dash. Looks towards goal. Long down towards full forward, but the defensive mark is taken by Kelvin Moore. WA breaking down in their key attacking positions at the present time. Victoria around the outer side. This is Peter Moore. He's a real athlete as he breaks away from half back and kicks it towards the centre of the ground. Watson is there with him. Prunster. Rioli a chance behind. Gets it across towards Hunter. No one on the move forward for Western Australia. Now there's a lead given by side bottom. Ball into the path of side bottom. It bounces kindly for him. Long foots Jess. Lines up goal. Long kick, but it's off target. They'll contest about 2 metres out from the goal line. It's running free across the face of goal. Fitzpatrick. Oh, he ambled to that ball. And now it's kicking in danger, and the free kick will go to Southby. And real comical stuff there by the West Australians, and as much as they thought the ball was going to go off hands and through for a minor score, and really the recovery there was almost non-existent by all players, and even when Fitzpatrick went after it, he wasn't showing a lot of conviction.
Southby's kick to the outer side of the ground. Moss going up for the mark, but not cleanly taken. And what's the decision? It's a free kick to Western Australia, to little Les Fong, the rover, over in the right full forward pocket, but a good 50 metres out from goal. Western Australia cannot beat Victoria if they miss scoring opportunities like the last one by Fitzpatrick. Fong shoots it in towards the square. Bazasto up at the ball, knocked away by Kelvin Moore. Going in as Cracker down there for Western Australia, holding the ball, and the free kick goes to Gregg. Keith Gregg from the left full-back pocket onto Dool. Dool is well grabbed there by Western Australia. Play on, says the umpire. And it's Gregg. Gets the ball back to Southby. Southby runs it over the line, and a throw in. A little bit indecisive there, Victoria, in defence. They lead by 5 points, 27-22 at the 8-minute mark of the second quarter. A lot of shoving in the ruck there. Coming through with the ball is Wilson. Oh, it's suicide to try and bounce the ball, but Fong couldn't tackle him. Clark gets the hand pass out to Dool. He doesn't miss too many. Side bottom goes in, taken by Fong. Fong hooks it back into the pocket. Fitzpatrick will go up, and so will Bazasto. Comes back to Dunn of Victoria. He gives the ball back to Gregg. Gregg fires it out now, and Schimmelbusch takes the mark. Deep down in defence for Victoria. Got a loose man here in Jess. Kick is not a good one by Schimmelbusch, and the ball out of play at left half forward for Western Australia. The match not reaching any great standard so far, but the closeness of the scores no doubt maintaining the interest of the crowd and our viewers throughout Western Australia to the ABC Sporting Service. Michael winning the knock, but Jess gets the hand pass back to Dunn. That's holding the ball. It's got to be Stephen Michael lightning with the tackles, just like he does back home. Shoots it in from 60 metres. Big long kick. It's a beauty. It's a goal. A goal by Stephen Michael, and I'd say that's the longest kick of the match. If that didn't go 60 metres, it didn't go a centimetre, and Western Australia are 1 point in front. 4 goals 4 to Victoria, 4 goals 3.
George, you're right when you say there's a lot of interest in the game because of the closeness of the scores. It hasn't reached any great heights, but Michael's tackle was a great one. It's the best that we could produce here in Victoria, and as you say, George, that was a magnificent kick.
He's got a kick like a mule,
hasn't he? He's a beautiful athlete. I said that earlier. I like his style.
Score's a level, actually, George. They've just changed the scoreboard. 4-4.
Yes.
4-4 apiece. There's the bounce down back in the centre. Fitzpatrick goes up and wins it for WA. Victoria try and bring it away. Scrambly football. Michael, that goal should lift him. He hooks it high out towards right half forward. Peak and Flower there. Flower doing extremely well, but swooping on the ball, Rioli. Rioli out towards centre wing. Looks back infield, goes short. Crackers in front. From behind, Jess knocks away. Wilson a chance to gather the crumbs. Slips over. Cracker on top of him. And there's going to be a ball up from umpire Morris. Certainly the tempo of this game lacking a little. WA should be well satisfied with their situation as Bridus comes off and Bartlett comes on to Victoria. Flower gets a hand pass to Watson meantime, and Watson sends play towards the outer side. Matthews leads back in the race. He's been quiet this afternoon, Lee Matthews. Hasn't handled the ball with assurance. And again there, that was poor stuff from Matthews. Curtis gives the ball across towards Featherby. He boots it down towards centre wing. Dempsey was up, couldn't take it. Off hands, Victoria do best. Hand pass back towards Flower. Flower gets the ball across towards Jess. Jess boots towards half forward. Hunter is there. Through his hands. Coming out was Cloak. I think Cloak's been shifted back to full forward. Hand pass from Cook comes to Hunter. Hunter from the line of the square, the defensive side of the centre circle for WA towards half forward. Fisted away by the Victorian defence towards Jess. He's met solidly. Tries to thump it across towards Rains. He's got the run of the ball now. Gets a hand pass to Dunn. Dunn comes down towards centre wing. That was side bottom cruising through as Dunn boots it towards half forward. Templeton now playing at centre half forward, run up one-handed. Glendinning was held. No free kick. Chance for Hunter. He fell over. Going over the top of him, Bartlett. And Hunter's getting a free kick. Told to play on, Hunter. From left half back, he boots towards centre wing, side bottom, and Dempsey. Off hands to Jess. Jess taken too high by side bottom. That was pretty crude. And Dool evening up. Dool goes in on side bottom. And if you remember the State of Origin game the season before last, they are all protagonists.
Someone lost a mouthguard there, Dennis. I don't know who it was. No, possibly side bottom.
It's Bruce Dill's headband, actually.
Oh, is it?
Side bottom picked up and threw aside.
I saw something fly out of the picture. There it goes.
Ball towards half forward for Victoria, and Templeton has taken a strong mark. Templeton, who's played most of the season at centre half forward for Footscray, a good effect. Kicking into the forward line, looking for Cloak. Behind him, Cook. Almost the mark to Cloak. Was pushed in the back. I thought this is Bartlett. That's holding the ball. And the kick will go to Brian Peake. And now a little feeling coming into the game. Prunster and Bartlett tangling on the mark there.
It's cost Bartlett 15 metres, Dennis.
Football is with Peake. Peake from half-back goes long towards half-forward. That's a long kick. Crackers in front. Greg from behind. Morris Rioli with brilliance. Breaks towards half-forward. Long kick at goal. It's going to be close. I think it's home. It is. Goal to Western Australia. And Western Australia go to a goal in front. 5-4 to 4-4. Fine football.
He's another long kick at the football, Morris Rioli, Jeff.
Well, there's very few West Australian players who were not long kickers, but he's done pretty well on the centre. Rioli gets the ball frequently. So look at a bit of a play here. That's Greg with it in hands. Rioli spins out of trouble beautifully. Long left, boots that one. The wind just touched it on the edge and brought it right round. Great goal.
It's 13 minutes in the second quarter now, with Western Australia 6 points in front. Back at the centre bounce here. Fitzpatrick on the ball for Western Australia. Going up against Dempsey. Dempsey got the better of the tap. That's Monteith burrowing into the pack. Here's Michael again for Rioli again for Western Australia, but it's Matthews gets the hand pass out and booted upfield by Schimmelbusch for Victoria. Right up deep into the full forward line. Is it a relayed free kick? Yes. Featherby used the elbow, according to umpire Peter Cameron, and it's a relayed free kick to Victoria. Up in the right full forward pocket to David Cloak within 25 metres of goal. Well, Featherby was foolish to attempt that kind of a illegal tackle on the Victorian player, as he certainly couldn't stop him from booting the ball forward. And he's given Victoria an opportunity to level the scores. Cloak, who kicked a goal in the first quarter, the first score of the match, in fact. And what's he like from the angle? The kick floating in. It's just missed the wrong side of the goalpost, I think, and it's gone through for one behind. So Western Australia cling to the lead. 5 goals 4 to Victoria, 4 goals 5, and the kick in by Cook from the southern end. Out wide towards Hunter. Hunter up towards the wing position. No West Australians here. Templeton after the football. It bounced beautifully for him. Templeton steers it back in towards centre half forward. The man in front is Prunster for Western Australia. Gets it on quickly to Featherby here. Featherby now into the centre. Monteith's all by himself. He can run 20 metres here. Jess is the only player in front of him. He's a long kick of the ball as well, and there it goes. 60 metres to full forward. Moss can't mark, and a chance for Bazasto. He's tripped. I think, yes, the umpire has paid a free kick to Bazasto. A desperate tackle by Kelvin Moore, who got the fingertip touch on his ankle, and it was a professional foul, really, Jeff, wasn't it?
It was indeed, but Pizzusto is going to make full measure of this. They're 5 points up at this point.
There he goes. He's fired it through for a goal, and Western Australia looking impressive now. 6 goals, 4 for Victoria, 4 goals, 5. And for Western Australia to make the running like this in a match in Melbourne, I think this is only the second time ever. The first time was in 1971 when they went within an ace of winning at the Melbourne Cricket Ground.
6 points, wasn't it?
Pizzusto in on goal, master of arching the back mid-stride. And Victoria breaking down really because they can't establish anyone on the forward line to do well for them, Jeff, with the exception perhaps of Templeton. He hasn't had a lot of opportunities, but he's handled the ball quite a bit.
They haven't thrown Bartlett onto the ball yet. He came on, he went to the forward pocket, and he stayed there, Dennis.
One forward by Dempsey. This is Glendinning, who's played a fine game at centre-half back. Across towards Fitzpatrick. He knocks it again to Monteith. Monteith has done very well for Western Australia. Kicks it high towards half-forward. Gregg, as he should against Cracker, takes the strong mark that time. Much taller man. They've set him a pretty tough assignment. As Jeff mentioned, he's playing most of his football on the wing. Playing on a half-back flank this afternoon. Dempsey. It's his first mark. Gary Dempsey on centre wing. Comes out towards half-forward. Templeton is this. No, this is Flower. Drifting across the face of the ground. He's taken the mark. Thought about a hand pass infield. Gets around Featherby. Draws a man. Finds Schimmelbusch. He's on the boundary line in the right full forward pocket. Screws it across the face of goal. Victoria down there in number.
Elbow again.
Free kick is going to Cloak. And he was pretty fortunate, I thought, to get that one. We might get that in replay, hopefully, because I thought Cook was merely standing his ground. He had the best position. Cloak was trying to take it from him, and Brian Cook ruefully shakes his head, but certainly umpire Peter Cameron in perfect position. Cloak should score from here. I think he's missed. Well, that is a shocking miss. His previous kick, despite the angle, wasn't a well-executed kick, and that one was just an abysmal effort. Let's look at that situation again.
I couldn't see any elbow there.
Absolutely nothing wrong with that at all as Cook kicks in towards the outer side. Mind you, it's easy to umpire from up here. This is Wilson. Well tackled. Down he goes and penalised for holding the ball. Ross Glendinning has the footy. Right half back. Plays on quickly. Drives towards centre wing. Jess is in front. Side bottom from behind. It's running free. A chance for Cracker. Cracker and Gregg fall over. Taken off them both now by Rioli. Shows the ball to a Victorian. Then hand passes towards Cracker. He pops in front of Jess. Diving over the top of him. Reigns with courage. Gregg. Could have almost been a Gregg free kick. It's going to be, I think. He was pushed in the back. He worked hardest for that ball. Plays on quickly with a hand pass across towards Matthews. Matthews really hasn't been in it this afternoon. This is Clark. He looked. It was knocked away by Monteith. Taken by Dill. Good pressure now from WA. Showing dash there was Michael. Threw himself at the footy. Cracker was held without it. And WA getting the reward there, I think, Jeff, purely for more endeavour.
They're playing in front. They're going in and getting the ball, and that's what it's all about, isn't it?
Cracker towards full forward. Victoria there in number, and the mark is taken by Kelvin Moore.
Interference and a free kick, Dennis. Someone was being held by the arm, and Graham Moss is getting the free kick.
Well, if he kicks a goal here, it's going to make it very interesting. WA have never won in Victoria.
And Moss has kicked 2 goals so far.
Kicks at goal. Generally, he's a reliable kick. And this is no exception. And WA is 7-4 and Victoria 4-6. This is the WA side that has been written off by all the pundits in Victoria. And, gee, they're doing well.
Well, you've got your best Victorian side out there this afternoon. You've said, Dennis, that the Western Australian side is not its best. There's 4 players who should be out there, but the fellows who are out there are doing a marvellous job. And I, being a Victorian, are very worried about the performance of Victoria at this stage. They would have to do something, and very, very quickly. They've been beaten in the most positions up and down the ground. Cloaks and Templeton are a disappointment. Reigns has gone out of the game in the centre. Glendinning's really thrashing them at centre-half back. And the West Australians are looking great.
Ryder's about to come on. I think Cloak will be the man who'll come off. The runner is still on his mission, but I think he'll go straight to Cloak as Matthews beats Victoria out of the centre towards Glendinning, who sends WA into attack.
Yes, up towards the flank, knocked away by Gregg from Cracker. Through comes Monteith. Monteith something on to do Perusal. Here's danger for Victoria, 35 metres out. Not a good kick. And Victoria going up down there through Southby, and there's a free kick to Southby for a push in the back by Moss. And that was very dangerous for Victoria. A poor kick into the full forward area by West Australia. Southby goes to the outer side. Peake is over there with Flower. Good body work by Flower. He's a champion, this fellow. Puts it up towards half forward for Victoria, and Watson takes the mark. Watson now runs round Featherby. Puts the ball up towards Peter Moore. and he got away from Alexander, and the Brownlow medalist has taken the mark at centre-half forward. On to David Clark. Clark shrugs them aside. Well smothered Alexander. He's done a power of work from that back pocket. Fitzpatrick now can't afford to make a mistake. Finds Duperuzal. Western Australia swinging into stride again. Into the centre. Side bottom. Will he mess this up? Oh, good footwork there. Gives the ball over towards Featherby. Featherby puts it up to full forward, but it's Victoria in front. And good tackle by Bazasto. That's holding the ball against Victoria's done down there. And Bazasto has the free kick. Now, he's a mercurial player, but he's about 50 metres out from there. I've seen him kick them from here in Perth, but whether he can do it at VFL Park is another matter. Peter Bazasto, Western Australia leading 7-4 to Victoria 4-6. Brilliant kick, that's a goal, dead centre. A brilliant kick by Bazasto, and Western Australia 8 goals 4 lead Victoria 4 goals 6 after 21 minutes of play, and that's Bazasto's second goal.
Second goal for the quarter too, George, isn't it? That he does look good, and he does what he's supposed to do, and that's kick straight. He's not a very tall player, is he? But he moves very well.
And he doesn't usually play at full forward. He's a half-forward flanker normally, but he's been given this key role because of his brilliance, and the selector's taking a punt on the fact that he'll produce it on the day here, after Beasley failed in the interstate match in Victoria Adelaide a few weeks back.
Well, now the stage is set for the Victorians. What can they do? This is a real test for their mettle as the ball comes towards half forward for them, gathered by Clark. Long searching hand pass to accommodate Templeton. He goes down. Now what can Matthews do? The Victorian skipper. They need a goal. Shrugs off a tackle. Finds Bartlett with a hand pass. He goes goal and puts it through. He's elated. And Victoria needed that. That's their fifth. They're 5-6. Western Australia 8-4. Bartlett on the ground. He's been there for about 5 minutes. That's his first kick. And certainly